Let's go. Live stream starting. 45 seconds and counting. Y'all share the live. Share the live. Comments. We want to see your comments, people. Let's go. Hey, what's going on? What's up? What's up? Hey, welcome everybody. I know I started a little early. I filled with the excitement having somebody such as Amber on the live stream. Like, oh my goodness! If you haven't met Amber, hey, Amber is a cool person. Amber, let the people know who you are.
Yeah, man. So my name is Amber Champagne. I am at Champagne's Brain on X. I host some regularly attended spaces throughout the week. The first exclusive comedy improv on the platform, and have been doing that for, I don't know, man, at least like 6 or 7 months now. It's been going amazing. I own a business called Champagne Apothecary and a skincare line called Ethis Skincare that actually sells all over the world now, which is mind-blowing, honestly. And I'm a licensed esthetician, clinical herbalist, comedy writer. I do a lot of things. I wear a lot of hats, so.
Yes. And those that know me, again, Dro the sound guy here, Slay Dro over there on X, wear a lot of hats too. Podcaster, live streamer, DJ, safety guy for the career. I do a lot of things. Graphic designer, But we are going to give you some nice podcast tips and tricks. So if you're out there and you are wanting to start a podcast, you don't know where to start, well, you came to the right place. Here we are. We're going to kind of dive into what's going on in the podcast world, how we can get you started. Amber said something very key. X Spaces. A lot of people don't know what social audio is. A lot of people didn't know and went through the wave of Clubhouse and social audio in its inception. So it's definitely a new nuance to podcasting. So being that we are some veterans in the game, we've been here for a while, how would you compare a social audio room to a normal podcast that you would listen to, Amber?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a veteran specifically. You are, definitely. I'm like, thank you. I'm flattered that you would even try to even put me in the same category as you. But I think that, what ultimately is different more than anything is the interaction that you have inside of a space versus inside of, something that is a little bit more siloed like a podcast, So there's definitely different nuances, in my opinion, that happen inside of live spaces that probably wouldn't necessarily go on behind the scenes in podcasting. So I would say that's probably the biggest difference, in my opinion.
No, definitely. And I know a lot of people now, don't come for me or us that are on social audio.
Don't at him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't put my name in the title and all that. But but social audio, and some people like to keep that line. Social audio is new. It's the new wave. It's interactive, engaging, because you are able to talk to so many people at once. Podcasting, yeah, there's a little bit to it. There's a video function, kind of like we're doing now. If you're strictly audio, that's a whole different ball game. So just keep an open mind when you're thinking about podcasting and utilizing social audio to become a podcaster. You can do it. They can run parallel. It's okay. So first things first, how and what to talk about, right? You have to figure out what your niche is, right? Like, I've known Amber for a little while now. She was able to bring me on and invited me to one of her spaces. And again, it's like a podcast. I was being interviewed, asked questions, but you have to know what your niche is. What are you good at? What do you want to talk about? And what your message is going to be to the world. So Amber wants to start, and I think is going to be starting a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did that idea come about?
So it kind of organically happened through doing all of the spaces. So I host four and co-host four like regular spaces a week. I do self-care and meditation on Mondays. I do a space called the Brick House with Lego King on Wednesdays. I do the comedy improv on Saturday, and then I do Sips and Stories, which is the interview series on Sundays. And really, all of that is just, it runs parallel to the things that I do every single day in my life, right? So I'm really all about the human experience. Like, I own a self care apothecary. I'm super into comedy and all of that. So all of that stuff just kind of like lines up with what I do, and I started naturally flowing in that. And then, of course, within that, I became, really close with a couple different people who are really fantastic at what they do. Blaze, especially like my Rhyme Ride or Die co-host, and it's like, and her and I started talking, and we were like, we should do something. Like, we should do a different podcast. We should get into like a different space. And that kind of idea just was been trickling for months, and we're like, where are we going to go with it? I don't want to give it all away yet, but I will say that we did a panel recently with a couple other really cool people on X, and it went extremely well. And I think a lot of people liked the panel idea. And so we're doing more of a collective podcast where we're bringing in a lot of the heavy hitters from like the comedy improv space, and like, and where we're doing it. So kind of like, kind of bringing all that stuff together and putting it and meshing it into a pod.
No, that's dope. That's dope. And if you, again, for those that are tuning in, if you have not tapped into Amber's spaces, the Lego King spaces, right? They are hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you will definitely leave there laughing your ass off. And pardon my language. I try not to cuss, but hey, I'm only human. So with that being said, again, so now Amber knows and kind of what direction you're going to go in. So having the idea, right? Then what? What do you do after you have this great idea, right? Do I get all the cool gadgets first, or do I just use my phone, right? Like, we can use our phone all day long, but you got to kind of get an outline going. So the biggest thing when starting a podcast, you have your niche down, right? How are you going to record? And you don't have to spend bukus of money going out there trying to, get the expensive microphones, right? There's inexpensive stuff. I promise you, there's inexpensive stuff. The Samsung Q2U, and I will put that inside one of the banners here in a minute. But Samsung Q2U, it's like $79 on Amazon. XLR, and I'll go over these terms here in a minute. So XLR or USB, and the easiest access is USB, right? A USB to your laptop, bam, you're good to go. Or if you want to, record on your phone, there's a little, dongle little piece that you're able to connect to your phone. So getting a microphone. Now you got your microphone. Okay, what am I going to record on? Well, the good thing is on our phones, believe it or not, these things right here, they have a little memo app. So if you use your phone and decide to record on your phone, perfectly fine, right? Hook it up, record, see what it sounds like. Now that I've recorded one little episode, where am I going to host it at? And so we're going to, let me share my screen. Where's it at? Over here. Yeah. We'll go there. And then we're going to go to a little picture-in-picture. Let's see. Bam. All right. Hopefully y'all can see the screen that I have. So here is where I host my podcast at, right? X Factor, the X Factor FM network. Again, this is where the network that I'm trying to build up. But it's a place where you can host. Now, you have your recorded episode. You are good to go. You're ready. where you're going to put it at, right? You have to put it somewhere to people to grab it off of Apple, off of Spotify, off of these places. I chose Spreaker just because they have some good monetization features. They have some great ad sponsorships that you can actually put in there, dynamic ad insertion. So we're going to go and do everything, all the things. So let me see. What? Why did it do that? Why? Why? I'm telling you.
See,
why.
this is the nature
See?
of life, of
live.
tech.
Yes. Let's see. Bam. Nope. Chrome tab. Before I dive into that, let's get this tab going because I want to show y'all all the price plans when it comes to Spreaker, right? Free 99, people. Free 99. This first
I love
one.
that you say that. No one ever says that anymore. And when I
Hey.
say it, people think I'm weird. It's fine. Anyway.
It's perfectly fine. Free 99. Who does not like free, right?
Honestly.
So you can make money with ads right out the go. And this is on the free plan. So you have unlimited access to upload as many episodes as you want. You can auto upload to iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all your major platforms where you want to get heard, right? And then, so there's no credit card needed for the free plan. You hook up, you put an email in, you log in information, all the good stuff, bam. The most popular, again, is a broadcaster. That's the one I'm on. It's $20, right? I get unlimited podcasts. On the free one, that's the only downside is your analytics or stats. You only get 6 months worth. And then you only can have one podcast. If you decide that you want to build a network, you want to start, kind of tweaking and getting other people involved, then you can go ahead and go to the broadcaster. And then the Anchorman, if you decide, you're getting bigger, you want to bring on more, maybe another show that you want to host. You got some people that, you're building a network, go to the Anchorman. And then the big one, if you already own a network, a couple of successful podcasts, and you put them under the publisher, that gives you a whole lot of stuff. So free 99, people. I am going to say it till I'm blue in the face. Free 99. Start. Just start, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. So now let me stop and then let me present the other screen. Let's see. Yep, that one right there. Here we go. Right? So this is how I'm going to walk you through starting to host and creating a podcast. Okay? So the first thing here on Spreaker, right? Create a podcast, upload new episode. So we're going to create a podcast, right? So what should we name this podcast, Amber?
Dope AF.
Dope AF. Bam. Okay. So it's going to be in English, and look at all the different languages. I'm anywhere in the world. It's buku's of language. What should our category be? Entertainment, comedy. Should we go comedy? I think we should go comedy.
Heck yeah. Let's go.
Now, under comedy, are we going comedy interview? Oh, look at that. Improv.
There you go. There you have it. Should have named it the Champagne Room now that I'm thinking about it. It's okay. We don't need to go back and do that.
No, but that's the great thing. I'm glad that you said that. See, you get the insight. You get to, moving and grooving. And you're like, oh, shit, that's a better name. Why not? The Champagne Room. Bam. So now that we have the Champagne Room there, gives you some requirements, right? So all artwork, and I will preface this. If you make your own artwork, great, no problem. But just make sure that it's the right size. 1,400 by 1400 pixels. Okay.
Man, and if you're
This
not
is a
already
cookbook.
using Canva to do that kind of stuff, you absolutely should. It's the easiest app on the planet.
Yes, it is. But 1400 by 1400. And again, whatever your podcast title is, the Champagne Room. So if you think the Champagne Room, see, I think a couple of bottles of champagne, a couple of champagne glasses, the Champagne Room in like gold font, maybe a gold sparkly background, and bam, now we have some podcast art, right? Now, another thing that they allow you to do here is, and I'll go to our side by side. We should be able to, yeah, there we go. Real quick, so I can, all the things. So we can put some of these comments on there. Somebody asks, can you transfer your podcast over to them? Yes, depending on where you are hosting a podcast currently, you can transfer to a new host. It's called a redirect. So you redirect from that hosting provider over to your new hosting provider. So check into that. Look at what your hosting provider allows and what the requirements are, and move on over. Cover image. So what the cover image does is when people come look at your podcast, or you send out your podcast from Spreaker, it's a banner. So this right here, this real estate here, 1136 by 275. Just think of it, any kind of banner, hero banner that you might have on your website, hero banner that you might have on some of your social media platforms, right? Something that you want to promote, your business, your brand, the name of your podcast, when you host, anything and everything that you want to put in there, put in there. So they say a minimum is a 400 by 400. I would go with the recommended pixels, 1136 by 275. And then after we are done, I will make sure that I'll have all these show notes in the show, so that way you can, go ahead and implement some of this stuff. Now, these requirements are only for Spreaker. Depending on where you're at, some of the pixels might be different, but this is for Spreaker. Visibility. Do you want your podcast to be public? Of course we do, right? We want the masses to hear us. But you can have what we call a limited access, which allows you to set up a paywall, premium for your supporters, anybody that you are providing extra content to, extra episodes, you can put it behind the limited access. And then if you want private, nobody can listen to it except you. If you're just testing it out, making sure it sounds good, you can do that. So, any questions so far?
This is really valuable. Honestly, I mean, all of the people who are watching this, I hope you guys are taking advantage of this information and share this live with other people who might want to know about this, because so many people always want to get information about podcasting. It's one of the things that I think people ask about the most. And it does seem overwhelming, but you're making it seem so easy. So, I mean, definitely share this, you guys. I don't know if you have tips open, Joe, but if he does, y'all should even tip him. This is great information, honestly.
I ended up taking off the ticker that I had that had my buy me a coffee. But if you're on buy me a coffee, Joe the Sound God, selfless plug there.
There you go. I mean, it was really me plugging it, so you don't have to take credit for that.
Yeah, it's okay. No, but it's definitely one of those things that, again, I enjoy helping people as much as possible, especially when it comes around podcasting, live streaming,
You
audio
really do.
editing.
Yeah, that's facts. That's not cap, honestly.
Graphic design, like I'm telling everything. I just like it. So if y'all have any questions, and I'm gonna run this ticker right down here. If you have any questions, put a Q in front of your comment, and we will definitely make sure that we answer any and all questions And again, share the live, please. Share the live. We greatly appreciate y'all over here on the Podcast Pulse. Not Joe on the air tonight. It's the Podcast Pulse. So the description. This tends to be one of those things that people change a lot because, again, you want to be very concise, but very specific and, try to capture as many people with your description as possible. This is what they're going to see. Like if you go to Apple or Spotify, right up underneath your podcast art, you'll see your description. What is the show about, right? How often do you release episodes? This is some key information. So we're going to make our description, Amber.
All right, let's do it.
The Champagne Room. What are we putting?
Comedy improv.
And if you know how to spell, don't be like me and do comedy improv. What else?
Yeah.
What else?
Every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. New episodes weekly.
Every Saturday when?
7 p.m. Eastern.
7 p.m. EST. What else?
I don't know. Should we put something like new episodes weekly? Or does it matter? Because it's kind of redundant. What do you think?
No. New episodes and new comedians weekly. And then your podcast description, believe it or not, you kind of want to throw a little bit of SEO in there. Get some descriptive words, stuff that's going to be appealing to somebody that's looking for certain things. So it definitely helps. But new episodes and new comedians weekly. Let's see. Follow us on all platforms at the Champagne Room. I cannot type today. Damn.
You're doing great.
So, and the reason why I put follow us on all platforms, because again, when they come across your podcast, they're new. You're right. Somebody's just, if you haven't shared it, you're brand new, right? When you do share it, well, where are you at? What are you doing? So follow us on all platforms at the Champagne Room. And I will say this for your socials. If all of your socials are your name, great. That's perfectly fine. So that way you can, keep your personal, but I like to make sure that you have at least one or two social media platforms with your podcast. Why? Because that's where you're going to put some of the extra content, some of the shorts that come out of these episodes, some of the audio that, you create audiograms, right? And audiograms are like you have the little picture right in the middle and you have the waveform around it. Good for marketing. But yes, go ahead and make a social strictly for your podcast. That way you can promote there.
What social channels would you recommend for podcasts?
Depending on the niche. So that's another thing. That's a good question. Great question. But Instagram for sure. Because again, everybody's on Instagram. I would also say X. Promote your podcast on X, people. LinkedIn, right? Depending if your audience is going to be there, like and we kind of jumped a little bit, kind of, sort of, but when you're really finding that topic, you have to figure out the avatar, the person, right? We want to reach the masses. Of course, we want to reach billions of people, right? Like Joe Rogan, like the Joe Buddens, like, all these, great podcasts, millions of listeners, millions of downloads, but it's not going to happen on episode 1. So you want to make sure that your topic, your message, whatever you want people to hear goes to not the broad picture, but narrow it down to, maybe 3 or 4 people that need to hear it. Once you get that right there, that very niche down audience, then you can start to scale that. But yes, definitely, depending on what your niche is, I say LinkedIn, because you can go live there. You can host audio spaces there as well. You can promote like hell over there.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. It's not like an X space. It's kind of wonky the way you gotta set it up, and
yeah. I'm like not in that corporate world anymore, so I'm not over there. But I mean, I understand, and it's actually a good call out, because it's like, for me, it's not something I would ever think of, But for people who are definitely bringing content that would make sense for that, it's perfect.
Oh, Ella Gray said TikTok.
Oh hey,
But get to promoting, get to marketing before they take it down.
I know. Jeez.
But if not, come to X. But no, it's definitely that's a great one, TikTok. And again, the short form video is king right now. So believe it or not, if you can you don't even have to be in the video. If you're a strictly audio podcast, right, using our voices, you can put your voice with some type of graphic, something, your podcast art, and a small little, something moving on the screen. And there you go. You have a TikTok reel. You have an IG reel. You have a YouTube short. YouTube is also a good place. And YouTube has, grown over the years. And now that so many people have gotten into podcasting and video podcasting, like we're doing now, right? Live type stuff, you can go on there and host your podcast over on YouTube. So that's also another avenue that people can use. So yeah, now that this is all said and done, you put an email here where where you want people to look for you. This is for and will be provided to your RSS feed. This is where people are going to see, or what they're going to see. So I can put this in there, right there. BigMikeEnergy@gmail.com. Okay. So we'll put that there. You know what?
That's so funny.
Don't get me started on that.
It made me laugh so hard. Like, you sent it, and I was like, yo.
Oh man. So I'm gonna open up a new window real quick, and this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna create some podcast art. So you're getting everything tonight.
Heck yeah, let's go. This is what I'm saying. You guys, this is incredibly valuable. Look at all these people like hanging out and just watching away, learning how to figure out what you need to do to podcast. Like, share this live if you haven't shared this live. Share it with your friends that want a podcast too. Let's go.
Let's see. Mike, Mr. Mike said, I'm getting in the habit of posting short videos on here. Just me yapping. Hey, it's okay. That's perfectly fine. As long as people see your face and start to resonate with the message that you're giving them, the more you're in front, the more they're going to, oh, that's Mike. I know Mike. Let me listen to what he has to say. So.
That's true. People connect to you so much through video and through audio.
They do. Let me see. Let me stop sharing this right here. And then we'll go to this next screen. So, bam. All right. Now, add that bad boy. Bam. All right. Cool. Here we are in Canva. We're going to make something for the champagne room, right? So, do you happen to know the gold for? Oh, wait. Yeah. Before I say that, hold on. We have to pay some bills here. Wait a second. Wait, guys. Give me a second.
Ethis has done it again. We are proud to introduce Transcendence, a vitamin C anti-aging serum. Learn more on our website and pre-order today.
Yes, and that ad was brought to you by Amber Champagne and Champagne Apothecary. Hey, so talking about podcasting, before we get into the podcast art, that right there, and I know Amber had a question about monetization. So we're doing a live stream, right? If you're doing a live stream, if you're doing a podcast episode, that little clip right there, right in the middle of your podcast, right? People go off of the CPM model, $15 to $25. Do not sell yourself short. Your time, your content, your people, your audience, right? Their time is valuable. So make sure that you charge accordingly. So again, whatever you think you should charge, again, starting out, you're not going to make millions of dollars. So don't try to go, $5,000 for a mid-roll ad. Negative. Nobody's going to, do that. But if you're reasonable and you're authentic with what you're doing, people will pay to have their ad in a show like that. So, and again, start thinking monetization right after you record that first episode. Why? Because again, free 99 is great, but we can't pay the bills with free 99. Now, I'm not saying you're going to pay the bills, right? Again, you got to make sure that everything is taken care of. But passive income. It's a way to be able to bring in a revenue stream into something that you love, right? Hey, I like Spreaker because, again, I get paid off of ads that I've been running for, on the podcast, since I started back in, late 2018. So it's definitely dope. It's good to monetize. So what is your
The hex code?
Hex code.
It's 907350.
Bam. Okay, so we're gonna start there. Now let's see. Like I said, some champagne bottles.
Nobody go taking my hex code. No, I'm just kidding.
Trademark and copyrighted, people. Just saying. So let's see. You let me know if you see something.
Man, my old eyes.
Well, you know what? Let's go here. Photos.
People are like, can you back up?
Hey, here we go. Okay, so when we think champagne room, this is what I was envisioning. So something, nah. And see, this is the crazy thing with being creative in your podcast art. I think it's again, give it your little flavor, whatever you decide to put on it. This is screaming to me.
Yeah, I like that too.
All right, so we're gonna just put this right here. Now, the good thing about Canva is all the good stuff that we can do with it. So,
yeah, they're killing it as they go.
Let's see, bam. All right, now we might need to raise this up just a little bit. Then move it over so that way you see more of the champagne bottle. All right. We're starting to cook here.
We're grooving. Yeah, we got it going.
Here we go. Let's see. Now let's go to some glasses. I'm kind of digging those. What
yeah,
you think?
those are dope.
All right, we can flip this right there. Bring this over here a little bit. All right, let's see. All right, now we're looking. Now we're cooking. So now we got to add some text. Now, the good thing about Canva, if you have not tried Canva, please, by all means, They let you start for free. The pro version to use all the pro features is like $12 a month, right? Or if you decide to pay a year, that's cool too. But definitely Canva. So here in the text, you get your heading, your subheading, and you set this up in your brand kit. But what's crazy is it gives you all these cool text already pre-made for you, right? Something that you can use. So me personally, I like starting from scratch. So I just start with a heading, right? And we go caps locks on. All right, the champagne room. All right, bam. But what I want to do with this is we gotta make it cool. We gotta make it like feel good. You want people to be feeling good when they see your podcast art. So let's see. Now, all these, don't look at these. These are all my fonts. So again, you can find them at a good place that I'll leave in the show notes. Defont.com.
Yeah, the font is pretty great.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. Let's see. No, don't do that.
You don't have to be worried if you're gonna get anything scary from Defont.
Yeah.
Keep your viruses over there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't like that. I don't like that font right there. No. How you feeling? How you feeling with that right there?
I'm feeling great. This is great. Look at us.
Look at us.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it?
Not me.
All right. So now the cool thing about this is, okay, we got the champagne room. We're there. We're vibing. Let me see this. Bring down the transparency just a little bit. Right. You want the glasses to be popping. Now this, what color? What color should we put the, again, you want to make sure that people see it. So
And white, probably, right? Let's try
white?
to start that with white.
We'll go with white. We'll do white. Bam.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. But even taking it a bit further, right? The effects tab, all kinds of effects. So if you wanted to give it a little drop shadow, right? Make it stand out just a little bit more. Make it offset just a little bit. Make it, the shadow just a little bit darker. Maybe blur it just a little bit. And now that looks legit right there. What you think?
Look at that. It's elite.
Right on. So now, real quick, while I download this, and then we'll go back over to our other tab real quick. But share the live, people. Share the live.
Yeah, seriously,
Get people
share
in
the
here.
live. I mean, this is incredibly valuable information. This is like, this is stuff people pay for people to take them through. And you are getting it for free right here on X. Like, honestly, this is a huge opportunity to learn a lot about how to build a podcast. Share the live with your friends who also probably want to build podcasts. Send a coffee to Dro, even though his link's not up. He'll let you know where to find him.
Here. And see, the good thing about this is right on the fly. Buy me a coffee.com/Dro the sound god. Bam. Save that. And now, there we go.
Look
Bam.
at that. Right there. See?
Yeah.
Get this man some coffee.
There we go. But Ella Gray has a question. Is audio good for commercial podcasts? Your audio should be it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Because again, our different environments, wherever you're recording, the space that you're in. Like me, I have this nice green screen back here, but I'm in an empty office. Lots of reflections, so that's why I'm close to the mic. That's why I have this screen on my mic to be able to make sure that you're not picking all of that up. But your audio should definitely be decent, right? You don't want to put in AirPods. And just think about it. Would you put in AirPods? Would you put in headphones, put on a set of headphones and want to hear a bunch of static, a bunch of, background noise, dogs barking, trains and sirens, unless that's part of the podcast, which again, that sometimes that's cool to leave in your audio because it makes it, real. Like, oh shit, there was, some police that just drove by. There was some, dogs barking, people, get into a fight. That's okay. But you try to make your audio as crisp and as clean as possible. Now, if you're doing video and audio, yeah, people will look at a shitty video if the audio is good, right? If the audio is good, quality on the video is not too much there, but the audio is clear, they will listen to it, right? But if you have crappy video, crappy audio, they're going to click off. They're going to move away, right? Great question. Great question. Thank you, Ella Gray. So, all right, now let's head back over here to our thing. Boom, boom, boom. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Remove that. Stop the screen. Oh, so much. Here we go. All right. So, bam. All right, now we're back. We're back here. All right, we're back on Spreaker. You went over to Canva. You created your podcast art. Now we can go ahead and upload our podcast art, right? So we do that. Bam. Let me see. Where's it at? Champagne room. Bam.
That's
now
cool.
The champagne room has a video, an image readily available. So when I go to upload my first episode, we are there, right? We can come back to this. The biggest thing is what people are going to see right away, which is going to be your podcast art. Your cover image, unless you're sending them directly to, you're sharing out directly from Spreaker, this can wait, right? You can do this later. So we'll go ahead and make this public, right? Bam. Now we hit create the podcast. Let it do its thing. All right, now we have the champagne room. Now we're ready to rock and roll. And you see this, you get to this screen. People are like, what is going on? I don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll be fine. So the biggest thing is we're inactive right now. We don't have any episodes up, which is okay. Perfectly fine. We're here. So we go to our podcast settings first, right? Making sure this is good. What podcast type are we doing? An episodic? Okay, so let me just head on back to our podcast, right? We're going to view and edit our podcast. So this is right here. This is where we are at. So in our podcast settings, you have the champagne room, which is our title. Visibility, everybody's going to see it. Don't worry too much about the permalink, right? The picture is there. So are we doing episodic, your newest to oldest, right? Or are you going to go serial, which is your oldest to newest? So as you create your catalog, as you create all your episodes and you start, maybe doing a seasonal podcast, and that might be a nice episode for podcast tips and tricks, part 2. Episodic versus seasonal. But if you're doing a serial podcast, so say you're archiving all of your old stuff, say from last year, you would end up putting them in a serial form. So that way it reads all your oldest to your newest. If you're doing new episodes weekly, bi-weekly, I would stick with episodic, just so that way the newest episode always ends up being at the top. And then people can scroll down and see what we're doing. So we're going to keep it episodic. So again, language, categories. So here we can now add other categories. So let's see, what other categories do you want to add?
Do they have like self-care? And is it that important?
They do. So
Are they prioritizing self-care? What's going on here on Spreaker?
Yes. So they have, let's see, self-improvement, science, social, relationships. No relationships. Natural sciences.
Yes. Please stick with me while I tell you about all forms of rock over the next 45 minutes.
Oh, man.
What about like entertainment?
Yes. Okay. So they have entertainment news, news commentary.
Breaking 47 sirens. Yeah, I mean entertainment news, maybe.
Here we go. Nutrition, mental health, alternative health, health and
That
fitness.
could also be a thing.
Health and fitness.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're not really that ecstatic about health and fitness here today, people.
Oh man. Hey, laughing does burn calories, people.
It does.
Laughing does burn calories. I know that.
I like to do it. That's how I stay fit.
Let's see. Self-improvement, education, comedy, fiction, drama. It was the
keep
worst
the
of
drama with your
times.
mama. Don't bring that over here. Thank you very
No
much.
drama over here. Drama-free zone. Stories for kids. Hey, think about this. If you're doing a podcast for kids, stories for kids,
There you go.
it's there. And believe it or not, the young ones that are starting to get to, where they're looking at YouTube videos, if you make something creative, you have a lucrative podcast out there.
Yeah, that's probably true, actually.
Hobbies. Automotive, aviation. You fly
Sounds
planes,
just
Amber?
like me. Yes, automotive. Automotive, please.
Automotive for 500, Alex. Okay. All right. Now the next one. Let's see. We're gonna put another category in there: performing arts.
There
Because
you go.
again, because improv is an art. It really is. So
It truly
these three
is.
categories are what people will be looking under to find your podcast. So you want number one to be the most important, right? That's why we set it up when we first set up the podcast. Improv is one, and then your subcategories, what else are they going to find in there? Performing arts, automotive, right? So we're going to be having our, the improv while we're fixing the car, while we're changing tires.
Yes.
Like,
I do so well. I hope everybody knows that. I can't wait to show you a short of me changing a tire.
that would be dope.
Real talk, that's never coming. Sorry for anybody who got excited about that.
Hey, I mean, no, what would be funny is because I've taught all my daughters to change tires
That's
and how
good.
to change their oil, how to check their battery. For the life of them, they can't, for some reason, get the lug nuts off the tire. And I'm like, well, you have to use leverage. And like, I should have videotaped that because we're going to have to reenact that one.
That would have went
Hey.
viral.
Yeah. They're like, and then here comes Super Dad. Yeah. All
Like
right.
the Legends of Zelda level up.
This is so fun. This has been fun. I love
Yeah,
it.
this is incredible.
So now that we have our categories in here, again, the email that, you put in there, the copyright. Okay. So again, because I've used it before, now you can put the copyright symbol, and we're going to do chaps. Champagne. So that's going to be the copyrighted, right? So whenever you publish an episode on all these platforms, you'll see, if you look at the details of the episode, you look at the details of the podcast, who the copyrighted, who does it belong to? Because again, stealing content, stealing stuff. Boo.
Boo to you.
Oh, look at that. Look. So again, got the owner name. Again, if you're running it as a business, right, or a network, again, you can put your name, right? Whoever the author is, right? Bam. Dro the Sound God. We're going to put Amber's name there. I cannot type for shit today. See, and then this way, owner, the Champagne Room. Crap. You can tell I don't type. So.
Hey, you know, you can only do so many things.
So many things. Typing is not my strong suit, but it's okay. So you save that, bam, right? Now that's all saved successfully. We are good to go there, okay? Now we can go to the website page. So this right here, being in Spreaker, they give you a little podcast web page. That's where that hero banner, that cover photo comes in. If you have a current website, you can hook it there. See, like I have xfactorfm.com, which I'll be able to, backlink and put everything coming from here over there, or vice versa. People that see this come to the podcast and they'll see this page. So you can put that in there. If you're on iTunes, which soon will be, this will be going away, the iTunes. Your Twitter name, hey, put it in there. So that way you can actually directly from Spreaker share over on X. If you have a Skype, same thing. Any telephone numbers you want people. Now, don't go putting your real phone number right here. Excuse me.
No.
For people, no, negative. For people to be blowing you up and calling you, because again, and then they have a text number if you want to receive texts, want to receive messages from people randomly.
So the Twitter name, not to cut you off, but the Twitter name is like the name where you would potentially be hosting from if you were going live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So like Dro the Sound God, right? Champagne's-Bree. That's what you would end up putting right there. So, but yeah, you put that on there. Again, this is part of the website. This is all for what's going to be on this one page, right? Where people come see it. So RSS settings. Now, this right here is very, very important, because when you are hosting any type of podcast that requires a hosting platform in audio, okay, you have to have an RSS feed. That's what makes it a podcast. So when you come to Spreaker, this will be what you copy. If you are ever asked your RSS URL, your RSS feed, you come to the RSS settings and you copy, right? You copy this and you paste it. Do not go trying to change this, because you will then lose the connection to where you're hosting your episodes, who's getting the episodes. Then it's a whole bunch of back end stuff that takes very long, because again, a lot of people are starting podcasts. A lot of people might have, issues. So manage your RSS feed. This section right here is very key. If I decided to leave Spreaker right now, if we decided, hey, you know what, we're taking the champagne room somewhere else. Spreaker's not
Miami.
treating us. We're going somewhere over there. So what we would end up doing. Hey, what's going on, Blaze? Should
What
we
up,
bring Blaze in
Blaze?
here? Should we bring Blaze in here? If you're up for it, Blaze, you can come on the show too. Ask your questions. Come on. Let me see. I'll send her an invite.
There you go. She might be doing stuff with her kids still, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll get lucky. You know what I mean? You
Maybe
never
we'll
know.
get lucky.
By the way, thank you for everybody being here. This is amazing. This is, again, I'm gonna say it so many times, and whatever, it is what it is. This content is epic. You are learning how to literally build your podcast inside of Spreaker step by step, and you're getting it for free on X. Thank you to Dro. So please share the podcast Pulse, which is this live that we have going on right now, with your friends who maybe want to also start podcasts, because I mean, at this point, who doesn't? And you see that ticker? You know what I'm saying? Go to buymeacoffee.com/Dro the Sound God and hook this guy up with some coffee, because this is epic for free.
I love coffee. I love coffee.
Who doesn't? Did you see my new coffee with Scott
Yes.
Patterson from Gilmore Girls?
Yes.
a good time.
That is going to be dope.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
really
wait
good.
to get me some. What's up, Blaze? What up? What up, Chris?
What up, Chris? Man, thank you
Chris
guys
hosts
all
a
so
dope
much for
space.
being here.
I greatly appreciate it. Hey, lots of people today.
Yeah.
That's dope. I like it. I love it. So, Blaze, your thoughts? I was doing something. I sidetracked.
I think she said she just got home from a ball game with her kids.
Oh, really?
She got a lot going on. Yeah, it's
All right.
like she's your time zone, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, it's central.
yeah. So she's still in the heat of it. One day,
One day.
your children will be grown adults.
Maybe our next one, we'll dive
Yeah.
into some stuff.
Yeah.
Get Blaze on here. But I was saying, managing your RSS feed. So if we decide to go to Miami and host over in Miami somewhere, we're going to have to click this redirect, right? Says once you redirect, your RSS feed is redirected to the new source, right? So again, you would go and do the same thing on another hosting platform. There's Buzzsprout, there is Podbean, there is, Blueberry. There's all kinds of hosting platforms that are out there. Spotify for podcasters, also a good one. Free 99 as well. Who doesn't like free? Same thing. Good features. But you're able to redirect. So you would go set that up first, kind of like we just did here. You would get that URL. So you would come get this like here, right? You would copy it from your new hosting platform and then put it right in there, right? So once you do this, what it's going to do, and it'll take some time. You got to give it a couple of days, just for depending on how many episodes you have, for it to redirect itself over to the new place. And then if you want to disable it, you disable your RSS feed. All your subscribers will stop receiving updates. Again, you don't want your podcast to live no more. You do delete it. You're done with podcasting. You're putting everything in a box and, traveling the world. It's okay. You can do that. You can disable it, and that'll be it. So, and then if you have a tracking URL, and this is only for PodTrack, you can put, something in there. You might end up breaking your RSS feed if it's not put in correctly, if you don't have the right URL. So I don't do that. We're not going to do that on here. So bam, RSS feed. This is the quick rundown. This is what the meat and potatoes of what makes everything tick, right? Your RSS feed, your RSS settings. And then what we have here is collaborators. but you have to jump up to the next tier, right? I'm on the broadcaster. If you want collaborators, you have more than one or two people on the show. You have somebody that is uploading the episodes once they're finished editing. You have more people that are running their own podcast on your network, kind of like what I'm starting to build. Then we'll start adding this as a collaborator, somebody that can come in here and have all the, same functions, being able to, you give them admin rights and all the good stuff to be able to collaborate on the podcast together. They give you some nice achievements, right? Once you hit your first 100 downloads, your first 1K, again, all these cool little badges, again, and it takes some time to get. So publish your first episode, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. If you want to delete permanently off all your episodes, just remember, this cannot be undone. If you delete your podcast because you're fed up with it, you want to, quit, and you delete it.
Don't rage quit your podcast.
I'm done. Boom. Right? And then once you hit that delete, it's like this, right? Big bombs dropping type deal. Yeah. But no, don't rage quit your podcast. Don't delete your podcast unless you truly want to delete it.
I mean, pretty baller if the explosion is like behind you and you're walking away like epically and did it because you wanted to for a reason. But yeah, don't rage quit like you're playing Fortnite and didn't get the Vic Roy.
What we used to say, we snoop the game, right? You go over there and just turn it off, right? Yeah.
Slam it.
Yeah. I'm done. Blaze said, no rage quitting, guys. No rage quitting.
I know. Not good.
Facts. Definitely not. So now that we got done doing all the kind of, back end stuff, now we got to do, just a little bit more. So distribution. This is very key on where you want to put your podcast. If some people don't like Apple, maybe I'm an Android and I go on Google. Right? Google Podcasts, or mainly I just want to be on Spotify. That's okay. You can do that. So you'll come down here. Spreaker, we're already distributing on Spreaker. So you would come down here and you submit your podcast to Apple. Bam. You hit submit. It does its thing. When it comes back approved, they'll let you know. It's a little notification. Usually takes about a day.
Doesn't take a year like X subscriptions. They're faster with the podcast, is what you're saying.
Yes. Elon, if you're listening to this, sir, we need subscriptions. Stat.
Jeez. Those
Spotify,
subs, man.
I'm telling you, give me subscriptions. There's going to be some good stuff going on there. Kind of like this content that you're listening to right now. Speaking of that, hold on. We got to do something. Got to pay some more bills because we've been going for a good hour and 4 minutes. Coming at you.
Did you ever think a skincare could change your life? Introducing Ethis Skincare. Based in the science of your skin's microbiome, Ethis is helping people all over the world get the results they've been searching for. Not only is it gluten-free, paraben-free, fragrance-free, cruelty-free, vegan, and made in the U.S., it combats both hormonal issues and aging simultaneously, which is almost unheard of in the skincare industry. Try it today by going to champagneapothecary.com and join so many who have already said goodbye to the midlife skin crisis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, gotta pay some bills. This is brought to you by Champagne Apothecary and Amber Champagne. Boom.
Hey.
Hold on. Since I got the Rodecaster over here, I think I got... where's that, man? Where's that? My damn sound effects all messed up. There we go. See, I got so many damn sound effects on here. It's crazy.
It gets wild on this thing.
But yeah, no. So and what's cool again? Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Music, and Audible. For those that do, books, read. You can actually read books and hey.
Thank you. You like that voiceover? Sound familiar?
Hello. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Voiceover, you do ebooks or audiobooks. You can upload them to Spreaker and put them on Amazon Music and Audible. Now, some of the other places like Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, GeoSavin, these are all podcast players that are not targeted to the U.S. They're all the other countries outside of the U.S. So again, it's good to be everywhere because you never know who you might, reach in, say, Egypt or Australia or wherever somebody is listening to their podcast, your podcast.
This is amazing because I think most people probably wouldn't even know that half that stuff exists.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And see,
I know I certainly didn't.
Yeah, and you go here, and again, streaming platform in India. So again, GeoSavin is in India. Lots of podcasts. People that listen to podcasts come from that region. So again, you want your podcast to be out there. So why not put it on their podcast player?
For real.
Same thing. Podchaser. Podcast Addict, Deezer, over 180 countries that they distribute to. Castbox, again, all mobile apps available on iOS. So they actually have like a standalone, kind of like an Apple. You just download the Castbox app and, find your podcast there. So distribution, that's really in a nutshell. Whenever you go, you just hit, say you upload your episode, you go down the line and click submit. iHeartRadio, submit. Apple Music, submit. Not Apple Music, I'm sorry. Amazon Music, Castbox. You just click submit. Some of these take a little bit longer than others. I know iHeartRadio takes a little bit of time to get back to you on uploading, but once they do, you're there.
They're like, do we heart your podcast though?
Yeah. Sometimes they come back and it's no, you have to resubmit. They said your shit's trash. No, I'm just joking. Just joking. Words of encouragement, people. Hey, get on iHeartRadio. That's dope. You can do that. Click of a button, submit, bam.
Yeah, that's cool.
Social sharing. This is also cool because, you can put it on Facebook. If you have Facebook groups.
Where the tumbleweeds lie. This is true,
Oh, yeah.
Is anybody over there anymore?
Hello. So social sharing, if you decide to, say you have a bunch of Facebook groups, you're in a bunch of Facebook groups, you have a Facebook account, you can, share over there. An embedded player. Now this is cool because now, again, it's not, I don't think you have it on the free version. But it's still nonetheless cool because you can actually create something that you put on your website if you have a website. So you go in here, what do you want it to do? The latest episode from the podcast will automatically upload onto your website. What are you going to see? You're going to see the logo. You're going to see likes, comments, share. If you want people to be able to download the episode, you can put download. Let's see. Dark background, light background.
Yeah, dark mode, baby.
players.
I mean, if y'all ain't using dark mode, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. exactly. So you have to go to the Anchorman, if you want to be able to change to different colors. So it's light or dark. That's it. Let's see. We can use the photo as the top art. And what it'll do in this is, so once you put an episode, you'll see your podcast art up here, or it'll end up moving it to the side. All right. And then it'll have your episode title. It'll have your description and, you know, what you're talking about, what your episode name is. And so with this, you have to read a little bit here. Again, if you're embedding it, JavaScript, you know, if you're doing a WordPress and, you know, have a WordPress website, you know, on WordPress, you can embed, or iframe. I keep it JavaScript because most websites run JavaScript unless you're running a WordPress, and that makes it easier. So you copy the paste of the code to your website where you want the thing to appear. Now, again, if you're not doing all the tech stuff, it's okay. You just tell whoever is running your website, hey, I want this embedded on this page of my website, and give them access to this, and they'll be able to come in and do that. You'd copy that, paste it in there, and that's it. So
Man, if you're using WordPress, bless your heart.
Oh, bless
You know
your
what I'm
heart.
saying? Like,
I tried it.
my first website that I built for my business, I built out on WordPress, and it took me like 5 weeks, and I worked like 12 to 16 hours a day pulling my hair out on that website. I'm glad I did it because it was like, it just took me through a lot of stuff. It actually taught me a lot, but it was the worst. So I would not recommend it, but that's just that's just from my experience.
That's big facts right there, because there's a lot of intricate little coding, and I couldn't do it. I tried, and then with the Divi add-on and plugins and all this, I was like, no.
Yeah.
Nope. Give me something I can plug and play, push a couple buttons, and bam, beautiful website.
Yeah, seriously. If
So-
I only knew what I knew then, or what I know now, then.
And then let's see. So yeah, you can embed a player on your website. So we don't have a website for the Champagne Room just yet, but
Not yet.
it's coming. It's coming. Monetization, people. Monetization. Who doesn't like money? Like, really? So the crazy thing about monetization is now you can build a community on Spreaker with revenue, right? Premium access to supporter only episodes. So you can start putting some of your content that your supporters want, you want to give them access to behind a paywall, right? Again, generate additional revenues from your content, choose between different pricing setups. So let's see. Let's just activate this bad boy. So what are we setting our price at? Now, mind you, again, if you're just starting in this episode 1, more than likely you're not going to have anybody subscribing to you for $9.99, right? Right out the go, unless you just have some fire. The first fire episode, the marketing of episode 1 was just there. The stars aligned, the moon and the sun did another pass by. Like, yeah.
All the stuff.
All the stuff. But with setting the price, again, you can come back, change it, right? But if we want to set the price, what are we setting to?
Oh my gosh, like what is it?
$4.99,
Yeah,
$9.99,
like
$4.99,
$4.99.
$4.99, $4.97.
Not quite free 99, but not quite many 99. You know what I mean?
Mini 90. I might put that on a shirt, Amber. That's crazy.
Not quite
free
many
99, but not mini 99. Somewhere in the middle. I like it. So we activate that right here. Bam. All right, good to go. So obviously payments are active, right? You go set up your payment account where you want your stuff coming in, right? So this is what you will see right here. So whenever you go to bring people to your podcast, you bring people and you're doing your marketing, right? You want this right here. You share this link, right? And bam, you send that out. And then people will then come to your content, but then see that you have, hey, for $4.99, I'd be able to get more access to the champagne room. I might maybe become a VIP of the champagne room, right?
You might.
That VIP membership.
You might get to hear more about my cat, Moxon Socks.
Hey.
I mean, who doesn't want to know about Moxon Socks?
This is so great. Thank you again, Amber, for joining.
Oh my God,
It's been
Amy, of
awesome.
course. Thank you. Again, you guys, and thank you for everybody being here. Like, this is wild. Appreciate you guys. And please, share the live. This is incredible information that Dro is sharing with us for free on X. Man, this platform is wild, right? Like, how much you can just, connect with people. And if you pay attention to the right stuff, you will find valuable information. And with that, make sure you also go to buymeacoffee.com/Dro, the sound god. Obviously, you can see right there on the ticker. Hook this man up for his time with coffee. Because who doesn't want caffeine? Oh, yeah, and Moxon Socks and her BFF, Jasper Giovanni. That's true. The whole subscription will just be Moxon Socks and Jasper Giovanni, but I feel like you guys will appreciate it.
I think so. I think that would be dope. Hey, support the $4.99. So then you go to your ad settings. This right here is where Spreaker, in my opinion, allows you to monetize again with certain ads that are already on the platform, certain advertisers that are already, what's going on, Polly? Good to see you, brother. But advertisers that are already there, right? The International Advertisement Bureau, the IAB, they also, iHeartRadio uses them, Spreaker, everybody that does advertisement, they run through that. So you're able to put as many as you want. So if you want one, you can have one. You can have two ads in the front. Now, depending on the length, that could change. It goes up depending on the length of your episode. Now, me personally, if I'm doing pre-rolls, if I'm doing post-rolls, now they'll be at the beginning and at the end of your episode. Yeah, you can monetize, and that's where that CPM model, that $15 to $25 range ends up being, right? Depending on, the higher end, the more numbers and downloads, more people and traffic you're driving to your podcast, those would work, right? It's the mid-roll ads that really pay because, again, you're stopping the content to give somebody an ad, right? Or a couple of ads, 1 to 2 minutes worth of ads, and then you're starting back up the content again. So stopping that, hey, price yourself and make some money, ad revenue. There's people that are willing to pay. I promise you. So if you don't want sensitive categories like the ads about pregnancy, about sexuality, about politics, about illegal content, you can remove those types of ads. All you have to do is click the buttons and take them out. Boom. I don't want those ads played on my podcast. Boom.
That is fire. Who wants any political ads on their stuff? Unless they're a political podcast, right? But
Yeah.
stay away from me.
You have the post roll, right? After a nice improv funny session. This is brought to you by the Republican Party.
Yeah, no thanks. Either way, too, by the way, you guys. And no thanks. It doesn't matter what party it is. You're ruining my party. You know what I'm saying? Just back up.
Oh man. So yeah, I mean, and if you go over to more by switching to the publisher, you can block specific ad categories from your podcast. Now, again, so all of these, if you upgrade to the publisher, you can actually go down the line and pick which ads you don't want to hear. So it'll give you a list of all the advertisers that are there, what ads they're running. You can handpick them. You can auto optimize ads on this podcast. So if we decided to click that, so what it'll do is once we upload an episode, they'll give us a snapshot automatically. Bam, put the ads in there. And then what's cool is you can actually move them depending on where you want them to play. So, again, pre-rolls, post-rolls, that's where it is. We don't have any episodes up yet, but we're getting there. Champagne Room episode 1 coming soon. So you save that ad setting, boom, we're done. We're good there. Statistics. So it'll give you all the statistics on what we got going on, your monetization. This is also a good one. If you want to advertise, right? Obviously upgrading, but you can actually make campaigns to get in front of people, self-promote your podcast. So,
Or you could just get, a really cool group of people on X to come together and collectively share your stuff for free 99.
yes, as I'm dying over here. Oh,
I mean, technically, it might not be free 99. We are paying for our subscriptions, but you know what I mean. You're already doing it anyway, so it's free 99 on top of whatever you're doing. It's fine. Stop correcting me, Amber. Jesus.
And running your own ads. So if you have ads, you can create an ad right here. So you would create an ad. What are you giving your ad a name? If you have your own audio, say for Champagne Apothecary or X Factor FM, you upload that and boom, you set your target, you set your budget. Again, just like any ads platform, anything that you are doing, you set a target. What do you want to do? You want to get impressions, or you want to get engagement? Do you want to get listeners? People visiting the website XYZ, and then you set your budget. What is your budget for this ad? And then it'll give you a summary, and it'll put it into launch, and then it'll go out to the ethos for you to hopefully get in front of the people that you want listening to your podcast, and then eventually, hopefully, turning those listeners into loyal subscribers of some of the paid content if you decide to go the paid content route. So, any questions out there, please let us know.
Yeah, seriously. I
Do
bet
you
everybody
have
is
any
just like
questions,
taking
Amber?
this in, you know what I mean? I know I am. It's just such it's so great. We just set up so much stuff inside of Spreaker that you would have had to go figure out for yourself, and yet here you are,
Yep. And
If you
again,
guys don't follow Dro too, you definitely should. He really does help a lot of people just all the time. I mean, it's why we get along, honestly. I think we're both the same kind of person. We want to share our information. So if you like this information and you're not connected, obviously you should be.
should be telling you. Oh, I forgot one thing. Hold on. What is this? No, not that one. That's not the one. That is not the one. That's the banner I wanted to put up. If you love your skin, go grab your magnesium bottom butter over at Champagne Apothecary. Again, this body butter is to die for. I just put my order in. I'm waiting for it to come. So
It's
I
life
hear
changing.
great things about this magnesium body butter.
Be sleeping so good.
Yeah. So before we wrap things up, any other questions you might have, Amber? I know that, we did go over a lot. I definitely will be chopping this up.
Yeah.
Be adding some show notes to it. and making sure that everybody who catches this on a replay, because I'll put it on a replay here, either tomorrow or the next day. But is there anything that you?
Yeah, I mean, I have so many other things. There's like some stuff that I sent you, but I think that I don't know if you'd be down, but I'd be down to go through, agendas, structure, just like different things that you've learned about, what to do with that and what that looks like, intros, outros, all of that. I think that could be pretty helpful, but obviously not for today. So maybe if you want to do like another time, that would be cool. And not to put you on the spot on live while 256 people are watching us.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good. I promise you, it's all good. Let me see. So, yeah, we'll share this right here. Let's see. I don't know if I can zoom in on this. That sucks. But for those that are seeing this right here, let me try the next one.
For those that don't have old eyes like me.
I know what I gotta do.
Definitely. I mean, anybody who's listening and watching this right now, make sure you like share this out after, quote post this live. I think that this could be so helpful for so many people. Just trying to even just do the setup on Spreaker literally just took you through step by step. Could change a lot of lives. So if you like your friends here on X, share it.
Oh.
I mean, if you don't like your friends here on X, you probably got bigger problems.
That sucks. Damn it. Move that from the studio. My bad, people. My bad. Technical difficulties over here.
You're good. This is life. Welcome to real life with Dro, the sound god, and Amber Champagne.
Definitely need some good voiceover. That's dope. That would. Oh my god.
People are just enamored with this information. They're just like taking all of it in. They're, processing all of it. I understand. I mean, we could always do this on another day, too.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be a good conversation.
Run of show. So, I think I purposely cropped it so that way people could see it.
It's for my old eyes. It has nothing to do with any of you. Don't worry.
Mine
okay.
too. There we go. Okay.
Ooh, wow.
So this right here I created again for Dro on the Air. This is my DJ / radio show. So having an outline for a podcast or anything, what your start time is, and again, when I start my show, right after, if you've seen in any of the live streams, my show intro is usually the little intro that I brought and made. But then if you're just doing an audio version, right? If you have something like this,
you're the sound god. About to drop some serious heat on your speakers. Whoa. Turn up, let's vibe.
Right? So you would play that. You would put something like, let's see.
Dropping another banger.
Yo, what's good? It's your man Flo Rida.
Yes, hello, Chico Pitbull. Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Kanye.
This is.
You don't know, so yo, this is Sean Party Girls. I'm overall. I tell him, said, locking and stocking. Take it away.
You're rocking with the sound.
Yo,
Right, so-
yay. Yay! Look at that. He's got yay on lock, dude.
So that would be an intro, right, to that. And then you run through your points. And what I like to do is like if I'm doing and running this show here, I'll keep this off to the side to be able to kind of give me a visual cue. Thank you, Blaze. I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, they are sick.
Super helpful. I greatly appreciate that too. Man, you're gonna make me cry.
Don't cry, Dro.
Tears. No, but this run a show, so it keeps you going. So, you know, social audio, news, sports, weather, you kind of run it like a radio show. And again, that's why I do this, and I have, you know, what I'm talking about over here on the side. So it's you know, just give you an outline, and then the darker spaces, it's probably I set it, you know, 10, 15 minutes after I go through some of this stuff. I'll play another one of the sounds.
You're locked in.
Right.
Dro, the sound guy.
And if it's not all music, if I'm not DJing, then I would end up doing like a song of the day, you know, top 40 hip hop, all that good stuff. So yeah, run a show, a good outline, and I'll make sure that on our next episode. So I'll get with Amber and see, and maybe Blaze can come on, and you know, we'll go through good outlines, good, you know, talking points, and how to structure something on the back end, so that way your flow goes very well. And then also talking a little bit more on monetizing. You know, we might dive into media kits, on why you need media kits, how to build those out, and we might end up running with the Champagne Room media kit, right? Because we have millions of followers in the Champagne Room, right? Bam, bam. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, I don't know how I do it, but it is what it is.
Hey,
I can tell you what it's not. It's not bots. May X be cleansed.
oh man, yeah. Hold on, I gotta give you this one right here, just for that right here.
Flawless victory.
Hey.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Flawless victory. So with that being said, folks, I greatly appreciate y'all for tuning in, for being here. Amber, thank you very much for, again, blessing the podcast pulse, asking the questions, bringing the humor, and walking through that with me. I think that gave people a good idea on how to get started. And again, if you are connected with me, if you know Amber and you're not connected with me, connect with me over on X. Send her some questions that she can send me, and the way that whole circle works. But it definitely, reach out. I'm here. I'm always willing to help as much as I possibly can. So greatly appreciate that. And let's see. What we got? So before we get out of here, of course, let me get that out of here. Oh yeah, tap into the podcast pulse.